I just love the confrontation.
Hello and welcome to The Boy and the Bear, a podcast from three best mates who it's safe to say have a slight difference of opinion when it comes to football played in Glasgow. I'm Stephen, host and neutral of the show. However, I am joined by our resident boy Patrick and our bubbly bear Scotty. How are we doing, boys?
I'm great. I don't know if I'm bubbly quite yet, but give me 3 more weeks and if we sign some decent players, I will be buzzing. It's good to see you both.
I'm good as well, thanks. A bit bold of you to assume that you're my best mate, and but otherwise, yeah, doing well.
That's what happens when you get to write the scripts, mate, and none of you actually read the document, so get it up, yes. Now, straight on to it, boys. Rangers are already 2 points behind, but still performing in Europe. Pat is complaining about the Celtic board, but shocked they're top of the league when he's doing it. And Scotty is looking for hiding destinations in January already. So
I heard Bora Bora's nice that time of year.
That's my bit out of the way though, and on to the compliments. Scotty, I'm going to come to you first, please, mate.
I have had the unfortunate pleasure of sitting with you boys last weekend and watching the opening game for Celtic, and they were very impressive.
I actually think you disappeared about 70 minutes in, but sure.
Yeah, I slid into the couch deeper and deeper. You know, it's like that Homer meme that you just go into the wee bush, but I was in the couch.
I've actually got a picture I need to post on our Instagram of you watching Celtic score the fourth goal.
Fucking demoralising, I tell you.
Sorry, carry on, Scott. Carry on.
So the compliment, I think, is just the quality of goals scored by Celtic so far. They're all of a high calibre. So yeah, it's kind of worrying, obviously, from our perspective. Like, you seem to be cooking right now before the first Old Firm game. So that's a worry, but compliment is that the quality of goals you're scoring is really good. So that's about as much as I can muster right now.
Now, I'll let Scotty go first and hope that Pat's actually going to take this seriously for once.
No, he never takes it seriously. He never takes it.
I've seen from his eyebrow movement there that
he's not written a single thing down, has he?
He's not written a single
thing.
No,
he's not.
It's written. It's written and prepared. Scott, I would like to congratulate Rangers on getting a win at Hampden. It must have been, it's been a while for you.
Yeah, see what I mean? What a dick, yeah. Like, trying to be nice, and then the guy just comes in with a 2-foot ankle breaker, career-ending injury. That's the level of.
I don't think it's an ankle breaking career injury. I think it's.
I think you're a bit harsh. I mean, we have one at Hampden, you know.
I did write win at Hampden / Czerny. I think Czerny looks like a good signing.
Yeah, I'll take the Czerny comment. You know, I think he looks good.
You got a win. Good win at Hampden. It's not very often that happens.
His stats before Wolfsburg, by the way, were incredible.
Yeah.
It was at FC20, it wasn't it?
Yeah.
So if he gets anywhere near that in the Scottish Premier League, so let's be honest, it's not the standard of the Dutch league.
No. But speaking of the standard of the Dutch league, before we just a wee quick segment.
You do what you want to.
Speaking of Dutch, right? All right.
Sam Lammers scored in his debut for FC20 within 3 minutes of the start, and you're just thinking, are we the problem? Are we the problem here? What's going on?
What a revelation for a fan base to have.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, what's the fuck is going on? Obviously, the guy couldn't score last when he played for us. He missed countless opportunities, and then it's buying him in, and it's like, okay, the league's of a higher quality, so we're told, but then you get players like that that can't cut it in Scotland. So what is the issue? Is it a Rangers football team issue? Is it the badge is too heavy for them, or is it just the fact that they get absolutely bluttered from pillar to post from defenders, and they're not physically able to stand up? It would be interesting.
Not physically able to stand up
after getting bluttered.
It's a very different sport.
Yeah, I know, but do you know how like getting fucking rattled for 90 minutes by some
such an
big
elegant
bruiser.
point you were making as well.
I know. I'm just meaning they can't continue to perform at a high level.
Well, is this not the same Sam Lammers that said that Rangers played him out of his position his whole Rangers career?
Yeah.
Coming from a fan who's half the first team wanting to leave this season because the fan base failed to recognise how much they were trying for the team. So I think you've got your answer in a nutshell, Scott. If you
how they celebrated by singing the Rebs and drawing a 4-leaf clover in the sky.
Listen, if that's what fires a guy to victory, fair dues. I mean, I just hope we've got some extra add-ons in there, make some extra cash off the guy.
Yeah, well,
but I just think it's not great. So,
any other points on the Dutch league? Are you all good? You Dutched out?
I love a wee Stroopwafel, but that's it. That's about it.
Sure, no worries. speaking of Rangers legends that could have been, it's on to Tu Cenis and a Sibo, please, Scotty, which for our listeners is where Scott and Patrick get to discuss two good things about their team and one bad thing since the previous episode. So take it away, please, Scotty.
Thank you. So I'll start off with a wee positive. Cyril Dessers has taken the last two games by storm. You know, he's provided a crucial goal in the Champions League qualifier. Scored with pretty much, I'm pretty sure, like second opportunity of the game against Motherwell. Nice finish. He's been quite effective in those two games, holding the play up. So I was quite impressed with him in his forward play. And obviously I've slated the guy, so I think it's only fair that I give him props when he's playing well.
Well, just before you move on to your second one, Scotty, because we're on the topic of it anyway, and it's one of the main points this week. One of my questions for you boys was: is Cyril Dessers Rangers' most underappreciated player? And I want Patrick's opinion on this as well, because we've talked about in previous episodes. I don't think he's the best footballer in the world. No. You haven't bought him to be the best footballer in the world. You bought him to score goals. He's definitely not the best footballer in the world. And he scores goals, and he scores some very important goals. And I think he's been banging order, to be honest with you, Scotty. But you carry on. You carry on. What's your thoughts?
That's absolutely fair. That's your opinion. I agree. I don't think he's the best player. I don't think we don't sign the best players.
Now, let's stop this patter of we agree Dessers isn't. That's not groundbreaking.
I know it's not groundbreaking.
He's not the best football player in the world.
I don't know if it was the issue more last season. if we relied on him too much. We didn't have enough goals coming from other areas of the team, and everything was going through him, and he wasn't maybe taking every opportunity. And it's like, I think that's maybe where the anger towards him comes from, more than, because he does get opportunities. The guy is good at creating opportunities for himself. He gets into good positions. His movement's good. I think just at times he looks like he's cutting a dead horse, or he's got cement shoes, and you're thinking, where is the complete performance? We've seen it in spades that he can actually hold it up really well, or he's got a nice finish, like the Betis goal. That was fucking brilliant. Just the chop back inside, composed finish. Whereas, look at some other times you're thinking, fuck's sake, mate, like, have you ever played football before? Do you know what I mean?
Well, speaking of players, you, especially players that were talked about with carting dead horses about, Alfredo Morelos.
Yep.
Okay. You would say,
speaking of dead horses,
just players moving slowly. I mean,
what's he done in Santos now?
Fair to say a bit of a hero at Rangers, Scotty, still high regarded by the fans.
Yeah, I think to a lot of younger fans, he's like their first proper hero. Do you know what I mean?
He played six seasons at Rangers, Alfredo Morelos, and only once did he score more goals than Cyril Dessers scored for Rangers last season.
Yeah, I think that kind of leads me on to how I feel about Dessers as a Celtic fan, and I think I actually fully agree with Scott. I think he's a good goal scorer in the same way that Chris Boyd was a good goal scorer, but there's still not that, as much. Celtic fans hated Morelos because we all thought he was a wee dick, and but he was effective, and we knew that, as much as we didn't like his character, there was a good player in there. You get none of that fear when Dessers has the ball. I'm yet to see him have a game where he links up the play and, plays effective passes. Any striker in the Scottish League that's worth their salt should get the ball and be able to put it in the net, but there's just not that all-round game, so I think I actually agree with the Bear on this one. Morelos was a much better all-round player than Dessers.
And I think you had better at times under Morelos, like you had Kenton, you had other Joe Aribo, you had other sources contributing, whereas last season it was pretty much Tavernier or Dessers contributing from a goal perspective.
So maybe more a failing off the actual squad. It'd maybe be good to see if he had a consistent three attackers behind them. How he would.
It'll be interesting to see it. If we do go and get Sima in the next couple of weeks, and then you got Sima, Dessers, and Czerny as a front three. It'll be interesting to see how he does. But I think we've actually got a winger and stuff now with Czerny that's not afraid to just hit it first time, and I think Cyril looked a bit better on Saturday.
First name basis, right?
Scored a goal, mate. Best pals now.
Hi, Cyril.
My second tune is Barron. I've been very impressed with him. Again, another two solid performances. I don't think he's played in the Champions League before, and to play it over in Poland against Kiev, I thought he did really well. His energy, he's just full of energy, and I don't know if it's because we've been starved of a midfield that have got energy, but we're like latching on to that as this is brilliant. But I just think that the boys handling everything that's been thrown at him regarding the pressure and playing for a team that's devoid of success and all the kind of hysteria from the fans this season. So I think he's done really well, and he just looks like he's going to get better and better each game. So he's my other soon as this week.
Smashing. Sibo?
Oh, well, there's a few, but I'm going to say something that's really, really annoying me at the moment.
Okay.
So we're continuing to stick with Tom Lawrence as a number 10. Now, I like Tom Lawrence as a player. I think he's got attributes that are good, but I don't think you can start him. You know, he's not good at the press. He's too slow for the press. He's not quick enough to get up with the play, and I think that's where we're causing ourselves a lot of downfall. You know, and I think that's why we're getting countered on quite quickly because there's so much gaps in the midfield because he's too slow to get into position to recover or join the press. So I think we've got a guy in Hadji, and I think Hadji's a fantastic player, and I do think he's better than Tom Lawrence. And for some strange reason, he's been cast aside, and we're hearing that he wants to leave. But you look at his social media posts and stuff; he's like, "It's good to be home," you know. It's and he's happy to be Ibrox, and do you mean looks like he doesn't look like a player that's wanting to move. Whereas you look at contrast that to Todd Cantwell. Todd Cantwell can't wait to get out of Ibrox. Do you mean? And I just think it's just a bit strange now that the manager's pushing this. Or I mean, obviously you don't know the background stuff, but I just think the Hadji situation's a bit weird. Like it's like we're getting told one thing from the manager, but the player's side, from a social media point of view, looks like he's quite happy to stick about and wants to actually make a go again at being a Rangers player. So I just think it was a player I really would like to see back in the first team fold and give him an opportunity because he's the creative player that we do need. And I think with better wing players now, we might actually have a much stronger attacking output. So yeah, that would be my Sibo. Bit long-winded, but yeah.
Good point, well made. Paddy boy, your two Decanos and a do we?
Although he was only there. He played 60 minutes against Clyde in a 2-1 defeat in Roy Keane's first game in 2005 and was never seen again. Anyway, two Decanos. First one being Nicholas Kuhn, who had such a good start to the season. Clearly looks as if he's benefited from a hefty pre-season, looks much more physical, looks much quicker. There was chat that when he joined us, he was having dental issues or like wisdom teeth taken out or something, which can be excruciating, and he was on medication for it or something, whatever. You never know what goes on. But he's emblematic of the improvement in Celtic's like current squad this season so far. Like he's everything this season that we didn't look halfway through the last one. When he arrived as the sort of flagship signing, he looked lethargic. He looked like he didn't want to be there. He wasn't tracking runners. Fans were done with him. And yet this season there's a spark and an energy. And, season's only 2 games old, but he was also very good in pre-season as well. So that's a massive plus for me, and he's cemented his place in the team. The second one's got to be McGregor's goal. I don't know if you've seen it. It's an absolute rocket. And it's something I've always, wanted to see a bit more from Cal McGregor. He's always the heartbeat and always passing, keeping things going. But when he does have a great shot on him when he lets it go, and it was just a beautiful goal to see.
Big week
just after just after he announces his retirement, and it's probably for the benefit of the guy. Like he was playing 65 games a season for the last God knows how many years. So
Do you think he took advice from Scott Brown? And actually, both retired from Scotland at 32, didn't they?
Certainly, Scott Brown's a big inspiration. One of the reasons behind Celtic's success is the succession planning. In captains, Brown into McGregor was totally natural and seamless. Looking forward a couple of years, I don't know actually who takes over from Cal McGregor. One of these players again. I don't think you're really going to appreciate how good they are until they're gone. I think Scotland might feel exactly the same. And my do-way is the thinness of this team. Like we're one injury away from an absolute crisis. See, there was a moment in the second half of the Hibs game where Kyogo went down, and his arm went out. He's always had problems with his shoulder, like I think it's like dislocations and stuff. And I'm watching it, and I'm going, we don't have anyone else. There is no one else. Like, O's gone. He does not re-signed. And so what we did was put Mikey Johnson on up front, who then got injured.
Nice.
And came off. So
Mikey Johnson's looked alright in pre-season, though, has he not?
You're sitting the guy off for it. He's not coming back.
The year is 2024, and Mikey Johnson's coming on.
Well, I'm also a bit disappointed
striker.
you didn't mention James Forrest as well.
Yeah, the Forest fire continues.
Yeah,
he's looking good. No, I just Celtic's first 11 looks really, really great, but it's a first 11 that's going to get found out in Europe, and it's just Groundhog Day again and again and again. And I'm just, we cannot go into the Champions League with Mikey Johnson as our backup striker, Liam Scales playing at the back, and Greg Taylor, who's great domestically but gets found out in Europe. It's just the same. It's like we went through like 8 years in a row of never signing a centre half, so Nir Beaton was always playing in the Champions League qualifiers at centre back, and I'm just like, why does nobody learn? So that's my. If
you had to plug one of the gaps, so which one would it be?
Oh, well, that's the thing. Like, if we lose Kyogo, we don't have a backup striker, and if we lose Greg Taylor, we don't have a backup left back. But I'd say Kyogo's probably more important to the way Celtic played than Greg Taylor. But then we wouldn't have a left back, so fuck knows what we'd do. Like, it's
Mikey
honestly,
Johnson, utility man of Celtic 2024.
Oh, mate.
Well, you've seen Callum McGregor play there, to be fair, but you wouldn't start moving.
But then you take McGregor out the middle. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just that's the problem, and that's just the massive frustration. And I'm gonna keep my powder dry, until the transfer window shuts. So probably a couple of podcasts away. Sure, we can do a deep dive into this again. But
I think it's at the same time as the derby's on the 1st, is it not?
Yes, so it's the day.
Yeah.
So surely you'd be thinking.
Cannot wait.
So surely you'd be thinking, okay, we're trying to get Ida back. It's not happened yet. So like to get players in for one of the biggest games of the season, against Rangers, these players are probably going to arrive in the next couple of weeks, and then the Glasgow derby's 2 weeks after it. It's just, I don't know what's going on at recruitment at Celtic, but it's just baffling because it's not a financial issue. So
what do you think
genuinely, what do you think the issue is?
Honestly, I wish I knew like that, but that's where my feeling of utter frustration comes. See, if there was a tangible reason, I'd at least I'd have information. But there's no communication from the club on it, other than like the odd article from Stephen McGowan who's saying, "Oh, Celtic are still lowballing Norwich for Ida. We need him. Pay the money and get him in."
So how much are they wanting for him?
I think Norwich they'd probably sell for 7 or 8 million.
Right,
that's a no-brainer. You're not going to get we've spent so many different £2 or £3 million transfer fees over the last few years that add up to a monumental waste of money. We know that Ida's worth it. We know he'll make a contribution. We know that he's happy to play a backup striker role. So just get the deal done. I don't understand. And why did it take so long for Paulo Bernardo's come back as well? If that was always a done deal, why draw it out for another 3 weeks so he can't do a pre-season? We are so slow historically at getting deals done that you can only think that it's a club policy or club personnel that are dragging their heels.
You do wonder a little bit whether players I'm not saying Ida, but I'm going to use him as an example, might just wait until the last week. And the reason I say that is a Premier League club might get, an English Premier League club might get an injury and so for instance, I don't know, a Southampton get an injury, Adam Armstrong gets injured, and then all of a sudden they go and sign him on loan and pay Norwich a £5 million loan fee. And then you're like,
I'd be prepared to buy that on a one-off, but this is every summer for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, my overall point is, do you think Celtic struggle to recruit because of the strength of the league?
I think it's a factor, but these are players that have already expressed a desire to come back. So I don't think in the Ida or Bernardo case it's someone or something dragging the heels in the club, and it's just it's such a shame because we want to get fully behind this team, but the Champions League is looking just ominous now. And you can't be the champions of your division, have 70 million in the bank, and have one striker and one left back.
You can if you continue to keep winning the league every year and the profits pay out to the board.
Yeah. But do you think with that though, because of obviously our failings to make a proper title challenge and really put you guys to the sword at times. The board have just gone, Rangers are quite far away. We don't really need to spend all this money.
I honestly don't think it's that, because what you saw when Postecoglou came in, things were done, and they were done quickly, and they were done well.
Right.
So it's clearly
So do you think it's a Rodgers thing then? Do you think it's like a Rodgers?
No, I think Rodgers is bailing out the recruitment department by having Kasper Schmeichel's number in his contacts.
Speed dial.
Apparently, Joe Hart had something to do with that as well, did he not? Oh.
I don't doubt it, but I honestly, there's only so many. We sacked Mark Law. We revamped the recruitment team. 60,000 Celtic fans have paid 700 quid for their season ticket and 70 quid for the new away top and the new tops. They're investing in their team, and the carrot that's always dangled is, coming back the boys from paradise for the Champions League. So that's dangled as a carrot, and then nothing's invested in the squad. Isn't the whole point of a football club to be continuously improving? So I don't know. It's a shame because the team are playing really well at the moment, but we just know every time someone goes down at the moment, it's wafer thin. And 2 injuries before the Rangers game. Say we lost Kyogo and Greg Taylor, I'd probably make you guys favourites.
The crazy thing is, though, right? You don't get 2 injuries. You play Rangers, you beat them, you go 5 points clear, and then it's like Groundhog Day again, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and then we get back to the whole European campaign with Liam Scales and Mikey Johnson, and it's just so depressing.
See, I think for us, just to kind of finish, we've the same kind of sense of people spend their hard-earned money to watch Rangers, but we've pissed money down the drain on terrible signings that haven't really worked out, or for example, like I mentioned before, like Jose Cifuentes.
Well, that's it. But that's because the 2-3 million pound players don't get you anywhere anymore, really, unless you're incredibly lucky. You have to pay what players are worth now.
But my point about us, we recruited this guy from LA. The manager apparently flew over or during a break or something, they flew over and spoke to him and was a key element in getting him over to Ibrox. Now, how do you not tell a guy that lives in LA that it's going to be absolutely Baltic in Scotland, right? Kind of expect to wear a jacket. The guy comes to Scotland, hates the weather immediately, and then doesn't settle, and you've just wasted £2 million, £3 million. Now,
doing the same for Rangers, by the way. It's cold.
Aye. I reckon Big Mick was just like, you know what, Josie, it's fucking roasting over there. You can go to Troon Beach, son, with a pair of shorts on and absolutely dip your wee toes in the water. Not be cold at all, mate. So I just think I get what you're saying, but I think we've got the same point.
Is that the second time we've agreed this week?
Our listener Ross's question this week: if Amazon were to do a fly-on-the-wall documentary for your club at any point in your club's history, which season would it be? Now, Scotty, I'm going to come to you first because you have less of a history to think about than Pat. He's got a good 100 odd years to think about. So,
all right, we're going down that route, are we?
Love that for you.
Brilliant. Is that because you're sick of getting called a bear? Is that what it is? Yeah, dirty, despicable mediator.
That's
we got bear on bear action here.
Tone of voice I need you to take into all episodes, but answer my question.
Listen, it's a grizzly on a black bear. It's only one winner, and I'm coming out on top.
Bear in the big blue house.
Was that Hampden?
In the big national stadium.
Which season do you
I'm going to say,
come on.
No, I'm going to go for the Helicopter Sunday. I think that would have been a great season.
Okay.
Under Big Eck. I think that would have been a really good documentary, because obviously things were neck and neck. We looked like we were out of it and then managed to pull it back.
04-05, is it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Who was
so yeah, I think that would be good.
Because O'Neill was who was Celtic manager? Was O'Neill? Strachan?
O'Neill's last season, yeah. We only won the Scottish Cup that year.
Because I'm pretty sure it was in Alec McLeish's first season, though. Yeah.
Do you know, you just put the camera in the helicopter.
Oh, imagine that.
What do you mean they're turning around?
But yeah, I think that would be a really good documentary that year. So I'm going to go for that.
Imagine the helicopter pilot was a Celtic fan.
Oh, he just chuck trophy flying over Loch Lomond. Fuck this, it's going in.
What about you, Paddy boy?
Morbidly, from my own club, I would love to know what the fuck was going on during that COVID season. I would want the camera to pan to Lenny at halftime, like 2-0 down to St Mirren, chewing snow. It's like,
Yellow snow.
oh man, like because that was that it was just like, I love a documentary where things fall apart, and even though it's Celtic, I just think like you can't deny that would be.
I thought you'd go for the Lisbon
watching.
Lions, like.
Well, that's like, that kind of goes without saying, but they already exist. You know, those guys are immortal. I want to see Neil Lennon battering the fuck out of Mikey Johnson.
Get that piss in the shower like that. Do you want a contract extension?
Mate, I want the explanation that we never got about why things got so bad, why they went to Dubai, why they, just everything. How Bolly Bolingoli managed to get COVID.
I remember that.
Well, like, do you know, like everything that could have possibly went wrong, and I think that makes a great documentary.
Well, thanks very much, Ross, for that question. That was an absolute belter. And like I said, more to come in the following week. So, on to trivia, boys.
Last episode was pre-season. This is the real thing.
In tribute to Callum McGregor, who this week, as everybody knows, retired from international football. He is actually, with 62 caps to his name, Scotland's joint 14th most cap player of all time, which actually surprised me. He's got more caps than the likes of, actually, I'm not going to ruin the game, I'll tell you afterwards.
Oh, nearly.
So,
nearly.
Gentlemen, what I would like you to do is name any Scottish player who has more caps than Callum McGregor, who has an affiliation with your club, or the opposite numbers club, so Rangers or Celtic. And by affiliation, I mean played a first team game or managed the club.
Ooh.
So there are
player and manager
14 answers. Okay, and I am going to start with yourself, Pat.
So more caps than
more joint caps than Callum McGregor.
As a player or a manager, so they could have managed more games.
Yep. No, they could have. So sorry, no, they. But
they've got an affiliation with Celtic Rangers as a player.
Yeah,
they've
got
you.
So they either played or managed.
Also played more than 62 games for.
But can I just? Does youth being in the youth ranks and then moving on doesn't count?
Playing a first team game.
Going back.
Yeah, that's fine. No, I'm just making
the whole history, mate.
Right, Kenny Dalglish.
Yep, number one on the list, easy, ticked off. That's why I came to you first. Thank God you said that. Scott.
Scott Brown.
No, but I am going to give a couple. Of like no's. I mean, you got to come quick. It's a hard game, by the way. There's VAR, whatever you want, right? Listen, I'll be honest, right? Trivia's got to last more than 30 seconds, so what the fuck's the point in having it as a feature?
I thought it was a good.
Scott just gets the answer wrong every week. What am I going to do?
Said Scott Brown.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good.
That was actually the one I was going to say. He's got more caps than Scott Brown, which I couldn't believe. So that's why I'm letting you away with it. Right. So you both get 2 wrong answers, okay? Scott, you've used your first one.
I've got 2 lives. So Scott goes again then.
Okay.
Yeah, Scott has to get a right answer. You can't just say a wrong one and I'll pass it back to you.
You must be shiting yourself, Scott.
I know he's going to say next. His own is also wrong.
Kieran Tierney.
No, you're out of your 2 answers. Scott,
all right, okay.
Please get one. Good God, please get one.
No, like how's that not a good fucking
he's
guess?
Like 5 years younger than Callum McGregor, and he's made of chocolate. Next answer, please.
True, but 50 odd.
That's not 62, is it?
But it could be.
You've guessed Scott Brown number 15. Tierney. What about someone from your own team?
Can I give him a clue?
No,
it's fine. Ali McCoist.
I knew you were going to say that, and that's also wrong.
What a day you're having!
I know. I got a fucking migraine. I lose.
Ali McCoist has got 61 caps for Scotland.
Oh right. So I'm hardly fucking a million miles away, mate. Jesus.
I'm gonna let Pat have the game.
That's fine. Pat's got the game. It's in the bag. It's a good answer.
Paul Lambert.
No.
Barry Ferguson.
No.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Get it up you. See, it's not as easy, eh?
I've still got a life, mate. I didn't get 3 wrong in a row.
Are you about to?
Might be allowed. Kenny Miller.
Yep. 9th, 69 caps.
I'm trying to think of like the OGs. Graham Souness, surely?
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So,
okay, who's
gentlemen? Would you like me to read in order?
Yeah. Go for
Sorry,
it.
sure.
With 102 caps, the only player to ever have more than 100 caps for Scotland is Sir Kenny Dalglish. I'll forgive you for not saying sir. Jim Leighton is second on that list. Darren Fletcher is third with 80 caps.
What's Jim
Wait a
Leighton's
minute,
association with?
Yeah,
no, they don't. They don't. Calm down. Just calm down. All right. I didn't say they all had associations.
Yeah, he did.
You literally did. You said they had to have an association with Rangers
Yeah,
and
your
Celtic.
answer had to have an association. Listen, if you'd got 3 or 4 right.
No. This is bollocks.
Mediators in question here.
That's
Okay, Scotty.
fucking-
Okay, Scotty.
No,
Right, give me one
pish.
more. Give me one more then. Come on in. Come on, give me one more.
No, you're just fucked
Come on,
up.
next on the list. Next on the list. Come on, give me it.
No,
What you
you
got?
carry on. I'm just saying.
Huh? Are you
just
sure
saying
you want me
you-
to carry on now?
You can't fucking need it. You
What?
can't get the own question right. Oh, it has to have an association. So the two of us went for Celtic and Rangers players because that's the way you phrased the question. But you fucked it.
And you were wrong.
You fucked it.
I fucked it.
Because I had Darren Fletcher on my fucking list, but no, he doesn't have an association with
Why did
Celtic
you have
or
Darren
Rangers.
Fletcher on your list? He didn't play for Rangers.
Yeah,
Celtic.
before exactly. So why the fuck are you reading them out as
Who
being the
else,
second top?
who else did you have on your list? Come on in.
I've said all my answers. Kenny Miller was the fourth one.
I sure he was. I.
It was.
Do you want the next one though?
What? Go for it.
Right. Okay. Alex McLeish, managed
Right.
Rangers. Just talked about him. Had a treble. Yeah. Words came out your mouth about 2
Yeah.
minutes ago. Couldn't even
Right.
mention him.
Okay, so he's number 5 and okay, one wrong.
Bam pot.
Shut
Right.
it.
Craig
Can't
Gordon.
even fucking read your own question.
Craig Gordon, number
You
6.
got Gordon.
Yeah.
You guys all
Andy
right?
Robertson.
Serious bear on bear action this week.
I think Scotty's just trying to like.
No, fuck him. You can't
I think
read the
he's had
question.
enough of the trivia. Do you want me to tell you what, Scotty? Right.
No,
You
it's
come
fine.
up with a trivia question next
No,
week.
no,
right?
I
I'll let
don't
you
have
play Pat, and you'll still get it wrong.
I don't have a problem with your trivia. I just have a problem with this week with your explanation of the trivia question this week. I just think
I'm
that
sorry,
was-
mate. I'm sorry. If you want, Scotty, if you want
Right, we need to wrap this up, come on, hurry the fuck up,
Next is Tom Boyd, Celtic legend, obviously. Kenny Miller, number 9. Davy Weir, joint 9th with Kenny Miller. John McGinn, which surprised me, 68 caps, John McGinn.
What's his?
Christian
what's
Daly.
his
But he's not got an
affiliation
association with Celtic, mate.
I know, lads. All right, I didn't say all of them did. All right, Pat's going to do the edit. He's going to realise I'm right, and everybody's going to calm down.
Previously.
Gentlemen, what I would like you to do is name any Scottish player who has more caps than Callum McGregor who has an affiliation with your club or the opposite numbers club, so Rangers or Celtic. And by affiliation, I mean played a first team game or managed the club. It's not a flawed question.
Right, anyway, move on. We fucked it. Everyone's fucked it. Pat, congratulations on winning trivia this
Thanks,
week.
mate.
Right, brilliant. Let's get a wrap on. I'm sick of this.
So
You've been listening to the Boy and the Bear.
Bear and the boy, yeah.
Aye.
the boy, yeah.
The Bear and the Bear.
Okay.
It's a bear pit.
Oh man. Well, Scotty, you'll be delighted to know that even though your trivia knowledge is somewhat questionable, you are leading the Boy and the Bear fantasy football between us 3. But Kenny, an avid listener and
Hearts fan.
obviously guest, is top. So Scotty is second overall with 144 points. I am third with 101.5. And Paddy Boy, 76.5.
I didn't realise that if you didn't field a full bench, you'd only get half points. Even then,
You
I'd still
also
be like
you
fifth.
also refuse to put Rangers players in
Well,
your team.
you know, you got to be a maverick somehow. I want to make it interesting. See, if you could pick Rangers players, it would be like 8 players out of 11 would be Celtic Rangers, and I think that's boring. So I'm setting myself a challenge this year.
Okay, fair. Scotty, did you pick any Celtic players? Actually, I didn't even look.
Yes, I did, yes.
Has to, you know,
Yeah.
best team in the land.
Which ones did you go for, pal?
Carter Vickers, O'Reilly, and Kuhn.
It'd be a bit weird if I filled my squad with players from the team sitting in 4th.
Well, good players will rise to the challenge.
You've been listening to The Boy and the Bear. Email us your questions or complaints at theboyandthebear@gmail.com.
It's going to
And
be
share
plenty
this-
of complaints this week. Used to just having handbags halfway through.
Listen, I'll let both of you contribute to the trivia questions. Email us your questions or complaints at theboyandthebear@gmail.com and share this pod with your mates on group chats. And please do follow us on our social channels, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, at BoyBearPod. And we're also on YouTube as well, where you're able to watch our episodes at the Boy and the Bear podcast. Gentlemen, absolute pleasure as always.
Hail, hail.
Thanks for having me. Follow.